Alrighty, hello people of the internet. It is I, Soul Wreck Dragon here, back with more Fate Grand Order, where we are going to continue Ordeal Call 1, Zero Compass, Inner Domain, Paper, Moon. Before I really begin here with Section 9, which is the Crime of Revolution / Future, please be sure to drop a subscription to my channel here. It'll be greatly appreciated. It shows some great support, and it'll let you know whenever these other sections come out, because I'm putting this out section by section for better ease of consumption. Also, like and comment as well. It would be greatly appreciated. And yes, I am putting out shorts as well. Shorts as well, indeed. They are just clips taken from the channel. There should be a fair few going out with regards to this Ordeal Call. I'm going to possibly go back and dig up some old clips and put those out as shorts as well, but that remains to be seen. We're going to begin Section 9 here, though. Only 2 arrow ones, so this is probably going to be shorter. Also, welcome, Deontay. Welcome to the stream. Howdy things. And that's right, this is still the same stream as last time, so that is the second intro that stream has caught. Do you know who you are? Yes. I feel like someone asked me that not too long ago. No? Hell, there wouldn't be any point in knowing. I am who I am. I am the one with a body that can satisfy any desire. I am the god of love and the demon king of depravity. So, comma. Okay. Comma exposition. Like it. I'm a singular entity, arguably dualistic in nature. Comma, don't lie. You can be infinite entities. And countless versions of me exist to please every single person there is. There we go. So there's no point in asking me who I am. That's not really what I meant. An opportunity like this doesn't come around every day, so I thought I'd warn you ahead of time. Would you mind shutting up? You have just a stupid memory, you know. Yes, I can tell this is a recollection of something I did at some point in the past. I'm guessing it popped up because of some sudden shock to my system or something. But if I'd forgotten about it up till now, it couldn't be that important. Never mind the past, there's no time like the present. Now please, stay out of my way. There's no telling when I might get another chance like at this. Wait, this is really important. It has to do with what you're doing here in the first... Yeah, maybe when I have nothing better to do, I'll see about remembering that. Bye! You know nothing about her yet? Comma is a precious cinnamon roll that is all offense and no defense. I know plenty about Comma. That was a fourth wall break, indeed. But, there is definitely something deeper going on here. I went off on a whole exposition just not too long ago, Deontay, and you kind of missed it. Essentially, with one of the quotes from the end of Section 8 or whatever it was, I have reason to believe that Thoth might be involved in all this. Yes, and there was also mention of centrifuges and gyro compasses. So, I went on a bit of a theory rabbit hole, so I'm very much starting to lean away from this being pretender-based and more towards alter ego-based. Especially since it's implying that we are somehow an alter ego, but we're not a composite of many things, so who knows? Yeah, if we're focusing on what's important, then this moment right here takes the cake. This warmth, this sensation, this is what I want. She wants to be cuddled? That makes sense. Comma is very soon. Everything feels soft and fluffy. Were you thinking you died and gone to heaven? Yep, we are cuddling with Comma. I didn't actually die, did I? Good question. If you did, then let's just say that you waking up here with me is proof that I protected you. And since that would mean you owe me your life, don't you think I deserve a little reward? Maybe something like a heartfelt hug, or a head pat? Does this mean I can take all your blank for myself? Kama wants to do mana transfer, it seems. I sadly do not think that they will allow that in FGO. Maybe it can be implied, like with, Summer Tamamo, but yeah, implication is probably the best you're gonna get, sadly. But in my headcanon, it's already happened, so. You don't mind, right? Cut. That's far enough. Cut. Oh, jeez, that gives us such weird implications. Who is watching this, and why does it feel like it's being directed by Sion. Of course it's Sion. Well, come on. Get out of those cramped space already. It must be getting hard to breathe in there by now, no? It's a good thing I was able to rescue you so quickly. Yeah, don't break the fourth wall too, Sion. So that's where I've been. I was trapped in a coffin with Kama. There are far worse people to be trapped in a coffin with. I just woke up to find myself in there too, so I didn't know what was going on either. But it looks like it's stuffed with cotton or something else similarly soft and fluffy. So that's where we were, inside one of those cylindrical cushioned rooms. Right, if you take a step back, you can see that I was in one right next to yours. So you didn't save us, Sion. Kama saved us somehow. There are so many of these things. Where are we, anyway? That's a good question. This is probably the Paper Moon world's outer rim. Though I do not know if this is what it's always like, or if it's just this now because of the Holy Grail War. I missed the main thing from the title. I will see it again. At any rate, it seems like the entire outer wall is made up of these, which have built-in shock absorption. I wonder if there's any reason they're shaped like that. They remind me of building pillars, or maybe coffins? Or because I'm leading towards the idea that the whole Paper Moon is actually a centrifuge. They are like the vial containers that go at the edge of a centrifuge. They hold vials of things inside of them. Possibly. Possibly. Based on the transmission we received from Ronnie the 12th, it looks like one of the Holy Grail War's mechanisms. It involves rotating the entire world in order to change structures between partitions at a certain phase. I think that process is likely what sent us flying to this outer rim area. Hang on, I still don't know what you're talking about. What's this phase thing? Is this because Castor died? Yes, I think so. The System Grail War is also about the Prime AIs competing to expand their territory. So if a master succeeds at defeating other servants and making progress, they will gain administrative rights over other masters' partitions and end up with control over multiple domains. That must be why they have a way to physically unify the domains to reflect their new positional relationship. Moving the whole world seems kind of like overkill to me. But then again, gods can be pretty cavalier about moving mountains and oceans around, so it might be fine. Let me try running the simple map program I copied from IS. Yeah, that's different. Hey, we're right next to Grow at least, though. Now I see, except for the center, every partition's location has changed. No, I don't think Keep changed position. That is where Keep was originally. So, that's not changed. You lie, Sion. You lie. It appears the partition's positional relationships were shifted by means of the entire world rotating. Just rotating can accomplish all this. Is it really possible to physically swap locations just by rotating? That's a better question. I understand your confusion, but remember, this is a virtual world. It could be that the partitions become conceptually paper-thin during the rotation, or something like that. All I know for sure is that we should be very aware of this rule going forward. It's just like the Rodiment and the AI that keep this world functioning. It doesn't look like they're different locations, though, Deante. It bears mentioning that the Paper Moon is a compass, so it must be able to rotate for that purpose. It may be strange to think that a massive gyroscope-like rotation is necessary to adjust this world, but that may well be an everyday part of life here. I guess so. Anyway, this partition unification indicates two important things. First, this obviously means that the Rider faction has now twice as much area to use for safely securing Roniment. This is a natural consequence of gaining command authority over another type of AI. And second, we no longer have any sort of enclave. What do you mean by that? Let me explain with a counterexample. Yeah, see, this was the original. I was right! Repair and Keep are in the exact same locations. Had Build remained in place and not been unified, it would have been an enclave for the Rider team. So essentially, Transfer and Grow swapped spots, and Transfer merged with Build. Should they then choose to make Build their new base camp, Transfer would become their enclave. In other words, they could only protect one territory at a time, leaving the other vulnerable. Such punishment is hardly a fitting reward for the winner of a major Holy Grail War battle, so the partition unification rule must have been added to prevent giving the winner an undue advantage like that. Having twice the area to manage should come with a corresponding advantage to make this worthwhile. Furthermore, say the war reaches a point where there are only 2 servants remaining. I mean, technically speaking, yes. Its overall position is still in the same spot, though. That's more what I was getting at. This unification rule would also prevent them from wasting time at their unrelated opposite ends of the world. Like, map-wise, it's still in the same location. More than anything. We just have new border. Put another way, this also means the Holy Grail War participants will always have enemies for neighbors. Such development could be said to be necessary to encourage the Masters to fight and advance the Holy Grail War. Wonder how the other AIs are doing. As far as I can tell, the regular AIs not taking part in the war were unaffected by the rotation. Conversely, it's also safe to assume that Ayas and Durya Dahana were sent flying just like we were. The same surely goes for Ryder and Saber's teams too. Since we can't see any other faction camp from here, it would seem that we were all sent somewhere in somewhat random directions. You know, we are probably fine because we were outside, that we flew to this edge, but what if somebody was inside when the rotation began? Would they have just flown through a wall with great force? Because that would be painful. I doubt anything would have happened to forcefully separate masters from their servants, but we can't be sure. Find Ayas and Duryodhana again. Nope. Aw. I mean, I guess, like, based off of the logic of the Flash, if you are moving fast enough, you can pass through things. So, I guess if the speed ramped up that quickly that it would allow the masters and servants to pass through, then nothing bad would happen. So, I can see that then. Fortunately, she agreed to let me put some code on her, which functions like a tracking device. So it shouldn't be hard to find her. However, there is also no telling who we may run into as we make our way along the rim. So we will need to be careful. Man, I wasn't even sure if the Rider team had any interest in winning this thing at all. I never would have guessed they were packing firepower like that. Don't let your guard down around them, Master. Next time, they might try to point that cannon at us. Excuse me. That said, as capable as I am, I plan to keeping you safe no matter what happens. So that's something to feel good about. You saved me earlier, didn't you? Thanks, Kama. No problem. I'm always happy to hear your thanks, even if you're only being polite. Keep it coming if you like. You can even show your appreciation more physically, if you want. That cannon was truly massive, but also a single-use spell. I doubt he'll be able to do it again so easily. I also agree that we cannot let our guard down around him. I thought I had a handle on the Master of Rider, but now I'm not so sure. Besides which, he appeared to be seeing something visible only to him. What could that have been? It feels like he was searching for the answer to a question that does not necessarily have anything to do with winning the Holy Grail War. It's because it's actually Lev Lanier. It's not an AI. It is the legitimate Lev. He's trying to get us to drop our guards. He probably has figured out that we don't have exact memories of him anymore. So he's trying to get us to drop our guards so he can stab us in the back and throw us in the center of something like he did to Olga. which again, resulted in Olga being isekai'd and her becoming a disciple for the foreign god, despite thinking she was the foreign god. So it gave her a lot of power, but it also seemed to have taken her memories away. Although it could have just been the isekai process that took away Olga's memories. It could have just been the process of being isekai'd. So, because, again, she was thrown into Chaldeus, which we have established is its own world at this point. So she was essentially thrown into another world. Yes, I am still paranoid about Lev. He is not a good guy, was it wrong to be paranoid about Zaukin? No, so I think I'm justified in my paranoia of Lev. Well, no matter what it is, the fact remains that we need to be more careful around him. After all, there's no telling whether the answer he's looking for is going to help us or hurt us. Over to transfer headquarters. So the crime of revolution / future. So that's the title that I didn't miss the title, I just didn't really consider it. The crime of revolution and future. So future likely has to deal with Lev, as he has mentioned that he prognosticates. But the crime of revolution. It's a stretch here, but revolution doesn't necessarily need to mean, what it normally means. Maybe they're being sort of, choosy with their words. Well, actually, I looked up revolution just to see if I could check to see. I was going to say maybe they're being choosy with their words, and revolution means the revolving of the centrifuge that is the paper moon. So I was thinking that maybe they're being playful / deceptive with their word choice there, and revolution means the crime of it, revolving around. But I did look up the Google definition for revolution, and it also does say a change in power structures. And the power structure has changed. So it could be related to that as well. It could be related to the fact that transfer and build are now one. It could be. I'm about to have 180 soon. I guess I'll find out. Read about being paranoid about Zaukin, so I'm killing Ronnie AIs, but Linear hasn't done anything bad yet, basing suspicion on the actual Lev. Well, we didn't see what happened to those transfer Ronnies when he fired his cannon. He could have destroyed them, which is worse than what Zaukin did initially. Zaukin just tortured them horribly, whereas Lev might have just outright atomized them, or digitized, I suppose is probably the better definition. But we'll find out more here in the second arrow. I do feel like we are approaching the halfway point. I don't think anybody was here when I said it, but based on everything, I think we're like a third. We were in section 8, maybe around a third of the way through everything. I'm predicting like 23 to 25 sections is how long this is all going to be. Do not tell me if I'm wrong or not, though. I want to be surprised. So let's start things off, which means that if I am right, we are approaching the halfway point. Who am I? Okay, so the green text I'm pretty sure is Lev. It is, I have to say, it is interesting that we are getting all of these who am I lines, though. The who am I does lean back to the pretender theory more than it does alter ego. It's still a toss-up, I feel. Yes, alter ego has been name-dropped a lot, but just lines like this makes me feel pretender. I can tell you my name. Linear Gussian. There are a few things I could rattle off about me as well. I'm a participant in the system Grail War, the Master of Writer, the Prime AI of Transfer. Oh wait, no, that's not the important part. In addition to the duties and behavior principle I was programmed with, I also have something pointing me in a certain direction. Something huge. If anything, you could say it's what dominates most of who I am. It drives me from the very core of my being, a fever burning through every false heartbeat in this body, telling me what to be like. Maybe I would feel more hesitant about it if I felt like this side of me was in conflict with my AI duties. But right now, all I feel is the urge to keep moving forward. I think you could call it a wish, or maybe a desire. I don't know if this was a conscious choice or not, but I suspect this personality is used to being compartmentalized. Maybe that's why I tend to observe myself from an oddly impartial perspective. This directionality is the first and primary function that defines this personality. And since I'm consciously aware of what kind of being I am, I'm able to intentionally fit my desire into that mold. So what is that desire? What is that wish? I think it's a phrase that defines who I am. The future. So then my answer is this. I may have been split off from someone else with a powerful inclination towards the future. I'm an split off from someone else. Whoa, is this really happening? What the hell's going on here? I'm glad you didn't say anything there, Ryder. I wasn't about to actually explain anything yet anyway. It's pronounced Ga-Shion? Okay. That's going to wait up until I've got proof. Once I do, I'll gladly talk your ear off. To be fair, I'm just going to keep calling him Lev, because I think that's easier. No, wait, now that I've said that, you probably just asked the right balance of questions anyway, wouldn't you? Nah, who cares? Now come on, we've got to get to the next point. I knew it. Everything's misaligned, which means... what does it mean? Now that I think about it, there must be a reason this world is circular. Maybe enabling movement like this is the whole point. No, the key is the future. Continuing that movement must cause something to happen in the future. Yeah, that's another rabbit hole I went down, was the, I cannot pronounce it, but the unit of time measurement that was mentioned by the overseer of all this was not long enough. So the amount of time it rotated was not long enough, which does make me feel like this is more of a centrifuge, and the relation to a gyro compass was a red herring that Ronnie put in. Ronnie is... Pseudo-servants are a thing. Could Ronnie perhaps be a pseudo-servant of Thoth? Because Ronnie is, like, in the Fate Extraverse, Ronnie, the 7th or 8th, whatever, is a homunculus. And I know that in Fate Strange Fake, a homunculus taken over by a divine spirit can occasionally result in the divine spirit having full control. So is it possible that Ronnie the 12th is a pseudo-servant for Thoth, but still has some of Ronnie the 12th's memories? But what is the end goal here? Why is this all a centrifuge? Why is the centrifuge not spinning for long enough? She said it was fine for now. So why does... So breaking things down, a centrifuge is meant to break things apart based into various different things. So you put a compound in there and it can essentially spin fast enough and it'll break a compound down into the things that make it up. Certain compounds, of course. So what is the purpose of spinning? There is a lot of memory loss seems to be a thing here. Is it trying to refine something? We are an anomaly, so It's not trying to refine us at all. It's trying to refine something, but I don't know what it's trying to refine. Or distill, rather. Yes, that's it. Whatever that something is must require centrifugal force. May I ask what's going on now, Master? Oh yes, absolutely. Your timing is impeccable. I think I may have just figured out what this Holy Grail War is going to bring about. No, wait. It may even be the whole point of this Holy Grail War is to... Impurity detected. Eliminating. Oh. So I was right! Yay! I was right! Also, dang it, why didn't I get to punch him out? I wanted to punch him to death. We've got the anti-demon pillar trait to us, so we should have been able to do it. Huh? Master! How could I let this happen? I didn't sense anyone. I never thought someone would try to snipe him from such an extreme range. No, I was right about this all being a centrifuge. And the jury is still out on Lev being evil. Master? Ryder, where's the enemy? There's no sign of them, or of any follow-up attack. I think they just meant to assassinate you. With that done, I guess there wasn't much sense sticking around, huh? Damn it, they got me. I must have figured out something they'd rather stay secret. And I was so close to getting a glimpse of the next future, too. Master, I'm so sorry. Don't worry, it's okay. If anything, I'm sorry I never gave you a chance to fight. You must have been so frustrated. All that warrior's talent, and no avenue to use it. I wish I could have let you contribute more to the future. Please, Master, don't be sorry. You understood me better than I could have ever dared to hope. Warped and twisted though this version of me no doubt is, you never looked down me with disdain or undue heroic adulation. You treated me just like me. You were never afraid that I might be more than who I actually am. As I am now, that alone was more than enough. Is that what you're scared of? Because anyone who'd be afraid of a pretty boy like you would be a straight-up failure as a master. Not me, I just want to see what comes next. If that means sacrificing the past or present, that's fine with me. Also, might I say, whoever did this assassination attempt, you always go for the head. Like, seriously, shooting out his side is just gonna let him get some last words in. You need to go for the head if you're trying to assassinate from afar. Gosh. Okay, so it's clearly not an assassin-type servant, because an assassin would know that. It's definitely an archer, though. It is certainly an archer-class servant that did this. And not Emiya, because Emiya would have shot an exploding arrow, so... Makes me a pretty shitty master, honestly, so I may as well not go down without a fight. Ryder, over there. I will give him neutrality as far as an alignment goes right now. He's not proven himself to be evil, but he's not proven himself to be good either. Or dolphin. Yes, dolphins as well. I mean, you know, archers, they don't necessarily shoot bows, so... When was the last time we got an archer that actually shot a bow? Exactly. Is this right, Master? Yeah, who knows, maybe there won't be any point, but in case it changes something, let's give it a go. That's who I am, after all. Okay, it's almost time. There might not be a future for me anymore, but you might still have one. Once I lose my master authority, maybe a new master will be born in my place. And if there happens to be a master with enough magical energy to sustain 2 servants, serving them might not be a bad idea either. Goodbye, Master. On the matter of your final words, I have no intention of serving anyone else. I'll just stay here and wait to disappear, while I savor my good fortune for having found a master willing to treat me only as a tool. Oh, you want to be treated just as a tool? How fortunate. You gotta be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. What will it take to squish this frickin' bug? You, the master of caster. I thought that line was done. I was hiding the last worms, keeping me alive in the shadows. It seems no one ever noticed me. You could quite literally have stalked me into oblivion with but a single step. But it seems fate had other things in store for me. I have, yes. I have watched the Heaven's Feel movie, and it kind of took Dark Sakura to destroy him. So, and it was like towards the very end of everything, if memory serves. So, I mean, but he got blasted. He was like atomized. I know, like he had a secret crest worm in Sakura's heart or whatever in the Fate stuff, but he's a roach. What luck finding a dying master who still has his command spell. Now I can regain both my master authority and a command spell in one fell swoop. And by that command spell, I give you these orders. Ryder, take my worms into your body and obey me, Makiri Zolkin, as my new servant. Oh, no. Oh, Lan Ling, no, you don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. Oh, God. I feel bad for him now. I feel really bad for Lan Ling right now. Yeah. Nobody deserves this fate. Nobody. I don't know which servant assassinated your former master, but it was foolish of them to leave their quarry right for the taking. That was Section 9. That was a quick one. It would have been quicker if I hadn't gone on to exposition dumps, but, so, YouTube, that was all you get. That was Section 9 for YouTube. So, we will continue tomorrow, YouTube, with Section 10. For now, thank you so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch when the next section comes out. Like to show some support and comment if you want to leave some feedback. Also, be sure to check out the shorts that will come out as well, because they're going to be coming out relatively consistently. But again, thank you so much for coming out, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.